Yo, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jake's Take. I'm your host, Jake Riley, here to keep you up to date on all sports news and highlights. Let's dive into the news. The NCAA Men's March Madness basketball tournament finally came to an end on Monday night. Number 1 Baylor took an early 9-0 lead and never looked back to convincingly knock off the favored and undefeated number 1 Gonzaga 86-70. Gonzaga was on a 35-game winning streak, but that didn't stop this Baylor team from winning their first national championship in the program's 114-year history. Head coach of the Zags, Mark Few, spoke to reporters after the game, and when asked what it feels like to finally lose, Few said this.
I mean, it's obviously a feeling these guys had never had to address and deal with, but I think the nature of it tonight probably made it. It's not easy, but again, you just as a coach try to give them as much perspective as you can, and as is usually the case with everything, time will lend them the best perspective.
Jared Butler was spectacular for the Bears, leading the team with 22 points while dishing out a game high of 7 assists. He also splashed 4 3-pointers, and Baylor outscored Gonzaga 30-15 from behind the arc. Butler had this to say after the game.
We didn't look at the scoreboard. Like, we were just going out there and giving it our all, and we were just gonna let the combos where they fall. And I looked up at halftime, we're up 10. I knew at some point we were up big because I was just like, we're scoring, they're not scoring, and everybody was hitting shots. It was like nobody's gonna miss, but it's just electrifying, especially in that type of moment in a big game, and everybody stepped up. Like, everybody was, on clicking on all cylinders. Like, that's what it takes to win. So. It's amazing.
Hundreds of Baylor fans gathered at McLean Stadium to cheer on their team and celebrate the biggest win in this team's history. The Women's March Madness tournament also came to an end as number 1 Stanford defeated number 3 Arizona 54-53 on Sunday night. The game was tight throughout, and as time was running out and Arizona trailed by only 1, Ari McDonald took the final shot at the buzzer, but it bounced off the back of the rim and Stanford hung on to win their 3rd national championship. McDonald had this to say after the tough loss.
We're walking out of here. We're leaving San Antonio with a lot of pride. We're going to walk out of here and leave with our heads up, just knowing how far we came, how far we come up as a program and as individuals. I mean, we have nothing to hang our heads for. I mean, we competed, we battled. I mean, we just lost to a very great team, an experienced team with talented players in all positions, and they're led by a pioneer to the game. And so, I mean, we just got to look back and we just got to, just look at the positives and just look how far we've come.
For tonight's top story, we go to Major League Baseball, where Texas Governor Greg Abbott declined to throw the first pitch at the Rangers game on Monday. He says his decision is because of Major League Baseball's stance on voter integrity laws. The MLB recently moved its All-Star game from Atlanta because of Georgia's new election law reforms. In a letter to the Texas Rangers, Abbott wrote that it was shameful that America's pastime is being influenced by partisan politics and false narratives. He says he will no longer participate in any event held by Major League Baseball, nor will the state of Texas seek to host any MLB special events. Georgia's Governor Jeff Duncan had this to say about moving the All-Star game to Georgia.
This is a difficult situation all the way around. I'm certainly a fan of baseball. I spent 6 years in the minor leagues, and so I love being a fan, and certainly was looking forward to the All-Star game being here in Georgia. Certainly, if there was an opportunity to change MLB's mindset and be able to get them back here and work together, I would be all in favor of that.
On a more positive note in the baseball world, the Texas Rangers become the first Major League Baseball team since the pandemic started to reopen at maximum capacity. In Monday's home opener against the Toronto Blue Jays, Globe Life Field was full of almost 40,000 fans. For the highlight of the night, we go back to the men's basketball championship where Gonzaga's Corey Kispert drives to the hoop but is blocked by Baylor's Mark Vital. In transition, Baylor's Jared Butler passes cross court to Adam Flagler, who drains the 3. And if you were rooting for Gonzaga, listen to this fan.
I say this every March. There's always next year. There's always next year. Go Zags!
There's always next year, and that's Jake's Take. We'll see you next time.